settle this debate real quick. Carlos or Ocelote?
I mean, my mom calls me Ocelote, and she literally gave me the name Carlos, so I don't know what to say.
Right. Hello, everyone. This is Darius from the Shotcaller, once again joined by Ocelote at the new G2 Esports office here in Berlin. It's very beautiful.
It is.
You just were on stage talking for an hour, as you usually do. What can you tell us about this new arena? Well, not arena, but office space.
So this office space, which can also turn into an arena actually fairly quickly, is for us a huge improvement, because we always had, for the last, well, first of all, the first year and a half, we were creating G2 remotely, literally. Then we moved to Berlin, and then we had a very startup-like place. It looked like we were living in a bunker. And you know what? It has its beauty, because you don't know how cool the sun is unless you have rain before, And in a way, this analogy applies really well here. This office is just so insane. I'm pretty sure there's no other team in the world, including Team Liquid, that doesn't have such a beautiful office. With that said, after this e-penis battle I just did, this is a place where everybody, from the content team, the commercial team, the admin team, literally everybody, just gets to share what they're doing and find synergies in a much better way, because it's a very semi-open space. We of course have meeting rooms that people utilize. I have my own office as well, but I also like to work 80-70% of my time here with everybody else, And this very open space is actually really good for that purpose. Everybody talks with each other much more, and we'll have, of course, we'll see the samurai in front of us every day. This version of the samurai that you see here is actually the interim version that we created in literally hours, because the actual samurai is going to be far bigger, far stronger, and it's going to be full of metal, and it's going to be amazing, okay? So we're going to see that samurai in front of us every day, and that will impact our job undeniably. All the trophies, which will be, of course, as well showcased here to remind us what we're working for, and a lot of pictures with fans and with crowd, again, to remind us what we're doing, why we spend so many hours in this. So it's a beautiful office space. I want to thank Michael, Peter, and Jacobo, who put this together really, really well. The whole team has worked really, really hard. And this party that we're having here, first of all with the press, and then later on with about 120 people, it's going to be pretty filled, and it's going to be a really fun day.
Very excited for that. Yeah, I was going to say, you need to follow G2 and Ocelote on Twitter, of course, to make sure to see the new samurai. Because I have to say, the current
Carlos
one...
R.
At Carlos R. I apologize.
G2 Esports.
G2 Esports /shop, yeah.
G2esports.com/shop.
Because I was going to say, the current samurai looks a bit more like an ice hockey player to an extent with the vest and everything, so...
Well, here's the thing. He is a nice hockey samurai, and there's nothing you can... Is it pointy?
Damn. Yes,
Jesus.
kunais that are actually pointy. So the actual weapons hanging around casually in case, contract negotiations go wrong.
I'm pretty sure we don't have the German permit for that shit.
Yes!
But you know what? If you don't show it on camera, it never happened.
We don't know what we're talking about. But let's talk about League of Legends. There's some League of Legends action with the pictures in the background now. You guys obviously completely crushed playoffs. No other way to put it.
Yep.
But at the end of the regular season, G2 kind of got, you had your first O2 week in the last week, and people were like, oh.
Celebrating O2 week.
What is happening there all of a sudden? Were you at any point worried about the state for playoffs?
No. Not at all. I feel like before the real shit happens, you need to have a period, and I tell you this as a player and as a team owner, having seen this countless times. Unless you have a period of time before the real shit comes, where people calm down into their senses, realize what's important, spend time with the family, and de-stress. Unless that takes place, you're either going to burn out in playoffs, or if you happen to win, you're going to burn out in MSI. I've seen both things happen, and I've seen it in multiple different games. So I agree with lowering the stress levels weeks before, but that is the rational explanation. Now I can tell you as well the factual reason that made things look worse than they were, which was the Mikyx wrist problem, right? When one of your key players has a wrist problem, and as a result, all the way from playing 9 scrims a day or 8 scrims a day and 6 solo queue games a day, turns into playing 0 scrims a day and 0 solo queue games a day, and you play with a completely new guy that is very good, Promiscu is very good, but still, then of course the level in official games is going to be impacted. So I'm glad that this is also teaching us how to deal with problems like this, and I think we're doing just fine. I think Mickey's wrist is getting better by the minute, and we are learning how to maneuver through these very weird and unexpected challenges.
You mentioned it was unexpected, of course. It does happen from time to time, but every time it is a bit of a shock, especially when top players are affected, like Mikyx. He mentioned in an Instagram post that he's not sure whether he's going to compete for MSI. Hopefully, of course, best of luck to him. Did you learn, or what did you learn in terms of preemptively working towards that this doesn't happen in the future? Have you talked with the team and go like, okay, we need to have a doctor on that like regularly comes in and look at wrists beforehand before something like this happens? Yeah,
with wrists it's really complicated because unlike wrist problems are like walking posture problems. It's something that you do when you're not thinking, right? And typically it comes from form. But now you're like, okay, so definitely the wrist has some strain because something is wrong. But now what is wrong? Is it the neck? Is it the jaw? Because it can be the jaw. Is it the back? Is it the vertebra that's dislocated? What is it? Like you don't know what it is. So you need, first of all, to check what it is through an MRI and through having doctors look at it. But then at the end of the day, it comes down to posture. So it's like walking. You have to relearn. And that relearning process is painful mentally because you have to always get, oh shit, I have to remember myself not to do this tick or something, right? For me, it was a tick. Then I realized early enough, so it didn't become a problem, and I stopped doing the tick. But the tick was this. I was doing this, Like I was pressuring this. Yeah. And at some point, you do this so many times, like 50 times a game, 60 times a game, then it just gives up, So you gotta relearn. And we do have the right counsel, we do have the right doctors taking care of our players, but we're still every day learning how to deal with that thing. Overall, I think Mikyx is getting better, but I agree with his post, just in order to manage expectations from the people. I don't want him to be in a position where everybody expects him to play, and then he has to play against everybody's suggestion not to, because he feels pressured by the community to do so. So yeah. Take care of yourself first, and then manage what you have. Of course, expectations are very high from European fans for G2. You guys obviously just had a very dominant split, and everyone's looking at MSI. Do you think that overall European fans can be hopeful for this year for G2 to actually take home international titles, be it MSI or maybe even potentially Worlds, which has always been your big goal, of course? Yeah, I mean, I want to win both things at some point. When I say I mean G2. So the short answer is yes. We want to win it. The expectation is to do very well at the very least, win best case. And we just want to make history, seriously, and we want to have fun while doing it. For us, fun, as you may have noticed, is key. It's a key word. Everybody in the company, I want them to have fun. Every player, I want them to come to have fun and to enjoy their job, which is what we're here for. And I can assure that all the players had a lot of fun playing those finals. Oh yeah, they absolutely did. If you hear it comes, it's just a clusterfuck after a clusterfuck. Flaming grabs while jinxing them. Everything. Yes. Beautiful. I love it. One last question. I did do my research, and I was listening back. I was, maybe you remember, you guys did a G2 or like a Esports with Ocelote podcast. That was, for me, very entertaining. I really liked it. I'm wondering where it is. It's gone Mia. It's going to return with this office. Okay. Very excited for that. But you did have Shocks on for one episode. A very enjoyable episode. Highly recommend. Or Shocks, because I have both. I had
If you're Shocks supporter.
and Shocks. Oh, Shocks supporter. Okay.
And you had a nice talk about your rivalry with Fnatic, and you said there, this was before Worlds of last year, that even if Fnatic would be playing in the Worlds finals, you would still rather cheer for the opponent.
Of course. Like not even like.
But did you actually do that when Fnatic were playing IG?
Of course, I was rooting for IG. Absolutely. Who roots for Fnatic? Do I look like 12?
Okay.
I don't look like 12. Of course, I was rooting for IG.
Just won't give your opponents one little single bit.
No. Honestly, I don't know who they have to play against for me to root for Fnatic. They would have to play against Fnatic for me.
Fnatic versus Fnatic Rising. Who do you pick?
I think they would both lose. I'm sorry. It's just, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's I guess the attitude you need to have to win it all at the end of the day.
Honestly, it's the attitude you need to have in order to survive 15 years in the eye of the public, to be honest. Like I've been 15 years in the eye of the public and I'm having a lot of fun because I've learned to not give a fuck about meaningless stuff, you know? I have fun, I don't do any harm to anybody. Our players have fun, they want to be in G2, whether they are young players, unproven, whether they are the best players in the world, they want to be in G2. Best brands in the world want to be partners with G2. Investors, most wealthy and value creators, individuals want to be investors of G2. Staff, we have some of the best people in the space. They want to be with G2. That's the only thing that matters to me. And all the jokes we make internally, all the culture that we have, and all the fun we have in the office and in tournaments and online. And that's to me what matters.
I was gonna ask you for like huge final words, but you already delivered it. That's already nailed it. Don't even need to ask for it. But I need to ask you for a hashtag at the end of the day for the people that watch until the end, of course.
Okay. Hashtag one of us. 25 of April. Is that April?
Yeah.
Yeah. 25 of April, 2019. Some crazy merch is coming.
There are already a lot of leaks on Twitter. Very good looking, very wavy, I dig it.
It's going to sell out in hours.
Like the Spanish jersey.
Or minutes, maybe.
Oh, wow, okay, Jesus. Expectations are high from the G2 office. This was Darius from the Shotcaller. Hashtag one of us. Thank you so much, Ocelote, Carlos, for your time. I want to settle this debate real quick. Carlos or Ocelote?
I mean, my mom calls me Ocelote, and she literally gave me the name Carlos, so I don't know what to say.
Okay, we're going with Ocelote. Carlos's mom has decided, Ocelote's mom has decided. We're going with that. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you got some great images from the office around here, except for the samurai, because that's dangerous. Hope you have a good day. See you guys then. Bye-bye. We'd especially like to thank Krzysztof Bujnowicz, Thomas Göttel, Etienne, Erich Althaus, Lukas Legal, Lazy Raven, Lama Vyuta, and Adam Novosviat for your very special support, and of course also all the people whose names you see scrolling past you. Without you guys, we would have closed down probably a while ago. So thank you so much for your help. Thank you.